Today I will be playing the role of a narrator, and I am honored to be playing the role of Martha Graham.
Hello, my name is Louisa Austin, and I will be playing the roles of a narrator, a man living through the Great Depression, one of Martha Graham's successful Jewish dancers, the First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, and a catalyst in the women's rights movement, Betty Friedan.
Martha Graham, A Lesson in Courage, a story of contemporary dance.
We are pleased to bring to you the life and legacy of Martha Graham, one of the most influential people of the 20th century.
Martha was to dance as what Picasso was to painting. She was more than just a dancer. She was a historian who utilized the stage to reflect on history and political issues. She gave a strong voice to women in an age where they were struggling to find a voice.
Today, people still see and feel the impact of Miss Graham's actions and legacy. She showed the world what courage and perseverance can produce. Martha's life spans several interesting and pivotal moments in world history.
So come along with us on a journey that reflects on those times and paints a picture of the remarkable woman Martha Graham was. The year is 1933. It is a cold December day, and Les O'Rear, a man that has been deeply affected by the Great Depression, looks onward, as his home is being foreclosed upon and his family is being torn apart. Martha Graham, in her 30s, is deeply embedded in creating dances that reflect on history and political issues that are going on around her. Her students are challenged to do the same. Her dances in the past have, to the most extent, expressed her own personal anguish, concern, and understanding. But she is now beginning to look at the world through the eyes of those around her.
Oh, it must have been 15 degrees out there, but with that wind it felt like 20 below. I just stood there at the curb, watching those two men load our possessions out of our home. I knew it was coming. The bank kept saying, if you can't pay the mortgage by the end of the month, we'll be forced to take action. I guess they took action all right. So here I stand, a broken man. It is hard to believe that just last year we were living high on the hog. The wife and kids moved upstate with their sister for a spell. 16 people in a 2-bedroom house is going to be challenging, to say the least. I received a letter from the wife last week, and she said the power company turned the lights off a week ago because Betsy didn't have enough money to make ends meet. The bastards. And here I stand on December 1st, 1933, 200 miles away, in this man camp making a mere 37.5 cents a day. I'm just hoping it's enough to feed my family. Although most folks have hearts for each other, I'm not sure it'll be enough to get us through this Great Depression. God help me. God help us all.
Here you all stand inside this warm studio. Do you ever stop to think for even one moment that there are people outside that window, freezing, no food, no home? Your job as a dancer is to portray those types of emotion. The gut-wrenching pain that is only seen in the eyes of those who are truly suffering in this Great Depression. If you are looking to dance a pretty little ballet, then you're in the wrong school, and you can feel free to remove yourself from my class now. If you understand that the stage is a place to reflect on your innermost emotions and the world around you, then please stay. Great dancers are not great because of technique. They're great because of passion.
It is March 1935, and rumors of the atrocities in Germany have begun to spread to other parts of the world. The economy is still deep in the grasps of a depression, and Martha continues to choreograph pieces that depict the world around her. Pieces such as Chronicle and Immediate Tragedy are born out of the events of the time. She began to survey the terrain of the outside world around her and reflect it through the prism of her sensibility. After this past week, I could not see dancing for anybody but Martha. On March 6, 1935, Nazis came and asked Martha if she would perform for them at the Berlin Olympic Games, which were to take place in Germany next summer. As one of her many Jewish dancers, when she told me this, my heart sank. But then, she told me she had declined their offer, my respect and admiration for Martha soared. Before this event, the only side of Martha I'd ever seen was the disciplined, passionate, focused woman who seemed to only deal with emotion up on that stage. Watching her deal with the invitation from Hitler allowed me to understand the depths of her soul. At a time when this dance company could have used a financial shot in the arm, and certainly a trip to the Olympics would have catapulted Martha's financial position, she opted to teach us all a lesson in courage. Never will I forget this, and never will I look at her the same way.
Do you understand why I did what I did? I really had no other choice. You can imagine the astonishment I felt watching representatives from the government of the Third Reich standing on the same dance floor, the Jewish dancers had performed on just hours before. They were not kind in the delivery of the invitation, but rather forceful. I looked right at them and explained that 3/4 of my group were Jewish. They were quick to offer that they would be treated with courtesy and dignity if we were to accept the invitation to perform at the Berlin Olympics. I asked them if they thought it was even reasonable to go to a country where they treat hundreds of thousands of co-religionists with the cruelty and the brutality that Hitler's Reich has shown to Jews. At that moment, I believe they attempted to threaten me. They told me that if I didn't come, everyone would know about it, and it would be a bad thing for me. But what they don't understand is if I don't come, everyone will know why, and it will be a bad thing for them. Before they exited the studio, they were sure to inform me that at the end of the contemplated war, when Germany was to invade the United States, they would be free to eliminate any undesirables, and my name would be placed on that list for prompt attention. At least I know that I can look at my students and I know that I offer them the same respect that they offer me. The year is 1937. Among those captivated by Martha Graham's unique style and passion was the First Lady of the United States, Eleanor Roosevelt. Martha Graham would soon become the first dancer to grace the White House. In her lifetime, she would go on to dance for 7 other presidents and eventually be awarded the Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor, by President Gerald Ford.
My dear Miss Graham, I am wondering if you would like to come down on February 26th. I am having a birthday party for Miss Morgenthau, Jr.
It will not be a large party. Miss Sidney Thompson, an old friend of Miss Morgenthau's, is going to come and do some recitations, and I thought if you would like to come down
and give us a few dances, it would be a delightful evening. There will be some people here that will be worthwhile meeting.
Besides the fact that we can give you some publicity for your appearance. Be quite honest. If you do not care to come for such a small group.
I do not know who travels with you on these occasions, but I am quite sure I can put you up for one night and perhaps one friend.
Cordially yours, Eleanor Roosevelt. Can you believe it? An invitation to perform at the White House. Perhaps my efforts are finally starting to pay off. I must begin work immediately on a piece for this special occasion. What an incredible opportunity!
As Martha's popularity grew and her dance career blossomed, she watched the world around her changing yet again. Women's rights activists such as Betty Friedan, Gloria Steinem, and Franny Lou Hamer were marching down streets, gathering in meeting halls, and gaining support for equal rights. The women's movement was in full swing in the late 60s, and even though Martha's body and physical capabilities were beginning to show signs of her age, her mind was racing with even more dramatic ideas for works. Hello, my name is Betty Friedan. As one of the founders for the National Organization for Women, I am pleased to welcome you to today's event. Ladies, we are strong, we are one. Today we'll march down Fifth Avenue around to our final stopping point, Bryant Park. What we are doing here today is making a statement. It's time that males hear what we are saying. For too long, we have been doing the exact same job as our male counterparts and being paid half of what they are being paid. We bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never get recognized for our efforts. So who's with me? 2, 4, 6, 8, equal rights and equal pay.
When I speak to groups like these, in theaters such as this, I always ask for the lights to be up, just enough, so that I can see the eyes and the faces of those to whom I am speaking. As I look back over my life, I hope that my dances gave strength to women. Most of my earlier works, such as Appalachian Spring and Frontier, depict women as strong trailblazers and pioneers. As most of you may know, I was careful not to invite men into my company for years. I wanted it to be a safe haven, where women could assert themselves as individuals. There is something discerningly unique about the movement of a woman across the stage. When a woman is filled with passion, this is translated in her movement. They talk of this new women's movement. Here's what I have to say. I have always been moving. I have refused to stand still because I know no other way. If there are obstacles, I simply went through them or around them. I never once thought of myself as not equal to a man. Women are moving forward, and in the face of this movement, the arts are moving forward as well.
As Martha Graham once said, I wanted to begin not with characters or ideas, but with movements. I wanted significant movement. I did not want it to be beautiful or fluid. I wanted it to be fraught with inner meaning, with excitement and surge.
Martha Graham choreographed 181 dances in her lifetime, all of which expressed her opinion of political issues and historical events that were going on around her at the time of each dance. Her legacy is centered around her interpretation of these events through harsh, powerful performances. She will never be forgotten in the hearts of those she touched through her dances.